Ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise for the arrival of the Honorable Senate President and the Senators of the Republic of the Philippines.
The 23rd session of the Senate in the first regular session of the 18th Congress is hereby called to order. Senator Cynthia Villar will lead the chamber in prayer.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God. O Lord our God, who is as great in compassion as you are in power, lend us your ear and hear us. We know your unconditional love for your creation and your inexhaustible goodness. So we turn to you in prayer and entreat you to deliver us from those who are out to sow lies, malice, division, fear, and negativity against us, your people. Shield us with your mighty protection. Show us how to rise above both the visible and invisible enemies. Place in us a power from on high. Encompass us with your almighty right hand. Keep us under the shelter of your wings. Fortify us with love and grant us unshakable peace. We will not be shaken, Lord, because of your peace that transcends all understanding. So amidst all the negativity and attacks, we hold on to your words as cited on Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Upon you alone, Lord, we look with trust. On you alone we have placed our hopes, and to you we send up all the glory, for you are the way, the truth, and the life. Amen.
Amen. The Secretary may please call the roll.
Roll call of members, the Honorable Senators Angara, Binay, Cayetano, De Lima, De La Rosa, Drilon, Gatchalian, Go, Gordon, Ontiveros, Lacson, Lapid, Marcos, Pacquiao, Pangilinan, Pimentel, Poe, Recto, Revilla, Tolentino, Villanueva, Villar, Zubiri, Senate President Soto III.
With 19 senators present, the chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Yesterday, yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President,
Leader.
we have several guests with us today. Vice Governor Jay Comun is here from Zambales, and we also have Sangguniang Bayan members Noel Lapane, Councilor Daf Roliquias, and Councilor Jason Tupas from Hinigaran, Negros Occidental. We have also with us barangay captains from Calamba, Laguna, and Mayor Crescente Garcia of Burgos, Ilocos Norte, and Mayor Ralph Benemerito of Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte. And I was also earlier with the cooperative leaders, the co-op leaders from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, under the NATCO party list headed by Ben Canava, our congressman, chairperson of the Committee on COPS. Mr. President, I move that we dispense with the reading of the journals of the 21st session Wednesday, last September 11, 2019, and 22nd session Monday, September 16, 2019, and consider them as approved. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none, both journals are hereby approved.
Mr. President, I move for the reference of business.
Secretary will proceed with the reference of business.
Reference of business bills on first reading. Senate Number 1032 entitled An Act Granting Healthcare, Retirement, and Death Benefits to Professional Filipino Athletes who win World Championship titles in international professional sports competitions or in other equally prestigious international championship games and providing funds therefor, introduced by Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Sports and Finance.
Senate Number 1033, an act regulating the use of treatment technology for municipal and hazardous waste, repealing for the purpose Section 20 of Republic Act Number 8749, otherwise known as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, introduced by Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committees on Environment and Ways and Means.
Senate Number 1034, an act further amending Republic Act Number 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code, introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
Referred to the Committees on Justice and Human Rights and Constitutional Amendments.
Senate Number 1035, an act designating the third Sunday of November annually as the Philippine Day of Remembrance for Road Crash Victims, Survivors, and Families, introduced by Senator De La Rosa.
Referred to the Committee on Public Services.
Senate Number 1036, an act providing a mechanism for the regulation of student housing entities and establishing a student housing registry in every city and municipality, introduced by Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committees on Urban Planning, Housing and Resettlement, and Local Government.
Senate Number 1037, an act creating the Mega Cebu Development Authority, prescribing its functions and duties and providing funds therefor, introduced by Senator Marcos.
Referred to the Committees on Economic Affairs and Finance.
Senate Number 1038, an act consolidating the loan allocation provided for agriculture and fisheries credit and agrarian reform beneficiaries and increasing the penalties on lending institutions for non-compliance and under-compliance with the provisions of Republic Act Number 10000, otherwise known as the Agri-Agro Reform Credit Act of 2009, amending for the purpose Section 6 and Section 10 thereof and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Marcos.
To the Committee on Agriculture, Food and Agrarian Reform.
Senate Number 1039, an act declaring the 5th of October of every year as the National Teachers' Day, introduced by Senator Binay.
To the Committees on Basic Education and Higher Education.
Senate Number 1040, an act providing for comprehensive hazardous and radioactive waste management, providing penalties for violations thereof and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Binay.
Referred to the Committees on Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, Health, Ways and Means, and Finance.
Senate Number 1041, an act recognizing digital assets, requiring the registration of digital asset enterprises, their operators, and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Marcos.
To the Committee on Banks.
Senate Number 1042, an act reforming the military and uniformed personnel retirement and pension, amending Presidential Decree Numbers 361, 1638, 1656, Republic Act Numbers 8551 and 9993, and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Marcos.
To the Committees on Government Corporations and Finance.
Senate Number 1044, an act modernizing the charter of the Mariano Marcos State University and renaming the same as the Ferdinand E. Marcos State University, amending for this purpose Presidential Decree Number 1279 and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Marcos.
To the Committee on Higher Education, Ways and Means, and Finance.
Senate Number 1045, an act amending Section 4 of Republic Act Number 8186, otherwise known as an act prescribing officer grade distribution in the active force of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and limiting the tenure of officers in the grade of Colonel, Captain, PN, and General Flag Officers in the AFP, introduced by Senator Pimentel III.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security and Peace, Unification.
Resolutions. Senate Joint Resolution Number 5, entitled Joint Resolution Authorizing the Use of the Rice Subsidy as Provided under Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program for Peace in the General Appropriations Act GAA for the purchase of palay from farmers, mandating for the purpose the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, to buy palay from the local farmers and distribute rice subsidy in the form of actual rice instead of cash assistance to qualified beneficiaries, introduced by Senator Villar.
To the Committees on Social Justice and Finance.
PS Resolution Number 132, resolution directing the Senate Committee on Urban Planning, Housing and Resettlement to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the state of capacity of financing for the housing sector and necessity of establishing the Housing Bank of the Philippines in order to centralize the financing and banking functions and address the financing needs of the housing sector in the Philippines, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committees on Urban Planning and Banks.
Committee report number 4, prepared and submitted jointly by the Committees on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation, Local Government, and Finance on Senate number 1043 with Senators Go, Marcos, Revilla, Binay, Gatchalian, Tolentino, and Angara as authors thereof, entitled An Act Postponing the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 9164 as amended by Republic Act number 9340, Republic Act number 10632, Republic Act number 10656, Republic Act number 10923, and Republic Act number 10952, and for other purposes, recommending its approval in substitution of Senate Bill numbers 201, 222, 671, 869, and 875, sponsor Senator Marcos.
To the calendar for ordinary business. There is additional reference to business.
Additional reference of business message from the House of Representatives. Letter from the House of Representatives informing the Senate that on 13 September 2019, it passed House number 4157 entitled An Act Amending Sections 4, 5, 20, 22, 27, 28, 34, 40, 50, 73, 112, 117, 204, 222, 237, 237-A, 255, 256, 257, 258, 261, 263, 264, 266, 275, 290, 291, 292, and adding new section 6-A, 282-A, 293, 294, 294-A, 295, 296, 297, 298, 299, 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, 307, 308, 309, 310, 311, 312, 313, 314, 315, and 316, all under the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended and for other purposes, in which it requests the concurrence of the Senate.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
Bills on first reading, Senate number 1046, an act granting the Basis Conversion Development Authority the power to assist the Department of National Defense in the creation of new military bases and facilities, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 7227 as amended by Republic Act number 9400, otherwise known as the Basis Conversion Development Act of 1992, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committees on Government Corporations, National Defense.
Senate number 1047, an act providing direct financial assistance to Filipino rice farmers, establishing for the purpose the Pantawid Magsasakang Pilipino program, providing funds therefore and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committees on Social Justice, Agriculture, and Finance.
Senate number 1048, an act providing for direct financial assistance to backyard livestock raisers affected by major animal disease epidemic or transboundary animal diseases, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 1578 and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Finance.
Senate number 1049, an act creating the Special Mass Transit System Support Fund, amending for the purpose Section 7 of Republic Act number 8794 as amended, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committees on Public Services, Public Works, and Finance.
Senate number 1050, an act exempting dividends from income tax and abolishing the improperly accumulated earnings tax, amending for this purpose sections 45B, 45A, 32B, and 57A, and repealing Section 29 of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
Senate number 1051, an act to ensure the security of members, officials, employees, and guests of Congress and the safety of congressional premises, creating for the purpose the Congressional Police Force, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committee on Accounts and Finance.
Senate number 1052, an act creating the Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund, providing for its management and utilization, reconstituting for the purpose the Philippine Coconut Authority Board and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Villar.
To the Committees on Agriculture and Finance.
Senate number 1053, an act mandating the appointment of a Human Settlements and Housing Officer in provinces, cities, and municipalities, providing for its powers and functions, amending Section 17, 443, 454, 463, and Title 5 of Book 2 of Republic Act number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committees on Local Government and Urban Planning.
Senate number 1054, an act providing for a railways fund from the motor vehicle users charge collections, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 8794, as amended by Republic Act number 11239, entitled An Act Imposing a Motor Vehicle Users Charge on Owners of All Types of Motor Vehicles and for other purposes, introduced by Senator Tolentino.
To the Committees on Public Services, Public Works, and Finance.
Resolutions, PS Resolution number 133, entitled a resolution urging the Executive Department to convene a National Public Transport Summit with the end in view of crafting a comprehensive traffic management plan that would lay down the short-term, medium-term, and long-term programs and solutions to the traffic crisis introduced by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committee on Public Services.
PS Resolution Number 134, resolution directing the Senate Committee on Public Services to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the mass transit roadmap of the government with the end in view of determining its viability and ensuring a safe, reliable, efficient, and affordable public transit system introduced by Senator Recto.
To the Committee on Public Services.
PS Resolution Number 135, resolution expressing the profound sympathy and sincere condolence of the Senate of the Philippines on the death of former Senator Rene G. Espina, introduced by Senator Soto III, Zubiri, Drilon, and Recto.
To the Committee on Rules.
PS Resolution Number 136, entitled Resolution Calling for Investigation in Aid of Legislation into Updating the Existing Legal Framework Regulating Online Lending to Prevent Abusive Collection Practices While Improving Access to Credit, introduced by Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committee on Banks and Science and Technology.
PS Resolution Number 137, resolution calling for investigation in aid of legislation into whether or not the presence of a foreign telecommunications provider's facilities and equipment in Philippine military bases and installations undermines national security, introduced by Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committee on National Defense and Public Services.
Committee Report Number 5, prepared and submitted jointly by the Committees on Justice and Human Rights, Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, and Finance on Senate Number 1055 with Senator Soto III, Gordon, Zubiri, and De La Rosa as authors thereof, entitled An Act Establishing a Separate Facility for Prisoners Convicted of Heinous Crimes, recommending its approval in substitution of Senate Bill Numbers 2983 and 1004, sponsor Senator Gordon.
To the calendar for ordinary business.
Mr. President, with the permission of the body, I move that we consider proposed Senate Resolution Number 135, taking into consideration Senate Resolution Number 138. I so move.
Is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, we move to ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure.
The Secretary is directed to read the title of the measure.
Resolution expressing the profound sympathy and sincere condolence of the Senate of the Philippines on the death of former Senator Rene G. Espina.
Mr. President, the measure is now in the period of sponsorship. May we recognize our distinguished Senate President Vicente C. Soto III to deliver his sponsorship speech.
The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. My dear colleagues, one's legacy upon death is not dependent on the eloquence of those who deliver eulogies, for it would be dangerous to rely on orators to make a verdict on how a life was lived. Words are inadequate to match the speech that has been delivered through the life well lived by Senator, Governor, Cabinet Secretary, Administrator, Lawyer, host, and columnist Jose Marino Rene G. Espina. Although nothing much has been written about him, Senator Rene Espina's accomplishments and positions held in the government had a lot to say about his prominence. In all the titles and positions he held, he always made it a point to leave a mark. As a lawyer, he was one of the top-notchers during his time. As an administrator and chairman of the SSS, he introduced the first computer system in government. As governor of Cebu, he was awarded as the most outstanding governor in the Philippines in 1968 and 1969. As Secretary of then Public Works, Transportation, and Communications, he was fondly called as the builder and father of the Mactan-Mandaue Bridge for being the one behind its construction. And as a senator, he crafted the first anti-drug law which is the Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972, a precursor of Republic Act 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, which this representation is principal author in the Senate, and our Majority Leader, Senator Mig Subiri, is principal author in the House of Representatives. We both share the same convictions of having a drug-free Philippines, and this present Congress will continue to thrive with his legacy that he left this nation. He was voted one of the most outstanding senators during his tenure. Senator Espina's presence and service to the people did not end when his term of office as public servant ended. He continued to do civic and social works out of the limelight and received various awards for the same. Truly, Mr. President, no words can measure up to the speech spoken by the life of Senator Espina. For truly, his actions speak louder than our words. He lived by the saying, "The great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it." Indeed, what he left behind is something that even the heirs of his heirs will enjoy, which is a better Philippines. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, we would like to close the period of interpellation.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
We move as well to close individual and committee amendments.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Before we approve this measure, Mr. President, with the permission of the body, to make all members of the Senate, all 24 members of the Senate, as co-sponsor and co-author.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Mr. President, move that we adopt proposed Senate Resolution number 135, taking consideration Senate Resolution number 138. As a move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Mr. President, we would like to just elect the members of the Special Committee on Marawi City Rehabilitation. The chairperson of this committee was already elected last week, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. We would like to elect, with the permission of the body, move to elect Senator Francis Tolentino as the vice chair, and members Senator Manny Pacquiao, Senator Bongo, Senator Amy Marcos, Senator Coco Pimentel, and Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Mr. President, we have a committee report. Though we have one for the elections, postponement. Yeah. Mr. President, this is the first committee report of the 18th Congress, and I move with the permission of the body that we transfer from the calendar of ordinary business to the calendar for special orders committee report number 1043 on Senate Bill number 4. This is an act postponing the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. So moved.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Mr. President, with the consent of the body, I move that we consider Senate Bill number 1043 under committee report number 4.
Is there any objection? There being none, motions approved.
Mr. President, we will ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure.
An act postponing the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 9164 as amended by Republic Act Number 9340, Republic Act Number 10632, Republic Act Number 10656, Republic Act Number 10923, and Republic Act Number 10952, and for other purposes.
Mr. President, may we recognize the sponsor of the measure, the Honorable Chair of the Committee on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation, Senator Amy Marcos.
Senator Amy Marcos is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Yes, thank you. Mr. President, esteemed colleagues of the Philippine Senate, good afternoon to everyone. Today I submit Committee Report number 4, sponsoring therewith Senate Bill number 1043, entitled An Act Postponing the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, amending for the purpose Republic Act 9164, Republic Act 9340, Republic Act 10632, Republic Act 10656, Republic Act 10923, and Republic Act 10952, and for other purposes. As a single senator who derives directly from the barangays and the old Kabataan Barangay, we seek to postpone the barangay and SK elections, revising their elections scheduled by RA 1095 in 2017 on the second Monday of May 2020 to the second Monday of 2023. This urgent postponement is sought first and foremost because proceeding with an early election next year would be in flagrant violation of the law, both in the local government code and in RA 9164, which both clearly establish the terms of barangay and SK officials at the period of 3 years. By May of 2020, all incumbent barangay officials and officials would have sat a mere 2 years, hardly time to perform their duties or to plan their programs. Overwhelmed by the plethora of functions now assigned to the barangay by the spate of recent laws, drug rehabilitation, anti-illiteracy, dengue, vaccination, child nutrition, and just lately, even road clearing, the barangay officials have not had a breather to plan or to prioritize. It is also time that we finally settle the calendar for barangay elections so that every year in May, following national elections, the barangays and the SK will know predictably and reliably that their elections will be next. While SKs from the bigger local government units may be implementing their plans, most smaller LGUs are still undergoing the mandatory process of training their SKs. A 2020 election would clearly be impractical and impracticable for both barangays and these SKs. The SK Reform Act mandates a 3-year plan, a comprehensive barangay youth development plan. Surely they will be far busier campaigning than planning if the election in May proceeds next year. Further, the barangays protest that such a short term is operationally and financially unworkable. Following a 6-month delay in the budget's release last year, the barangays have just begun to finally access their local funds in the last few months. In compliance with the SK Reform Act and its new requisites, the SK, in the meantime, continue to await new procurement guidelines for their projects. The bidding processes that will prevail still to be formulated, finalized, and enforced by the Government Procurement Policy Board. Thus, this measure, ladies and gentlemen, is urgent. To date, COMELEC has luckily not spent any significant amount for the 2020 barangay and SK elections. Still, time, energy, and some expense are being lost. Already, registration is ongoing at the barangay and SK levels. Preparations for procurement short of award for carbonless paper and other requirements for ballots are ongoing, anticipating a total budget of 37,896,250 pesos. Worse, our national budget for 2020 is impending and should shortly be passed, including therein an item for 5.8 billion pesos for the barangay and SK elections that could be put to other better uses, more essential for our other needy sectors. Gentlemen and ladies, barangay elections actually involve 62 963,305 registered voters. There are SKs in upwards of 21,100,858 registered in all our barangays. While the national elections open a mere 18,000 positions, in a barangay or SK election, 672,448 positions are at stake. Further, barangay elections are manual. They are not automated. And let us recall, we have urged COMELEC, the new Department of DICT, the DOST, to formulate a new and improved hybrid automated system for 2022. There is much work indeed to be done. Of course, the COMELEC has said, kaya naman siguro. We are good soldiers. But they also had to admit, baka may mako-compromise. Yun ang transcript po sa kanilang budget. And the question indeed arises, will the results be satisfactory? At the end, let us postpone. Because if we do not postpone, we may erode our sacred right of suffrage. We may not compromise at any point the Filipino right to vote, most especially a vote for the barangay and the youth, through which our popular will is so directly and fulsomely expressed. Ang sabi nga ng mga bata, ang boto ay dapat parang pag-ibig, priceless. Anuman ang hirap at sakripisyo, kailangan gawin natin para buong puso at walang pag-aatubili ang pagboboto. The ancient barangay votes brought our forefathers to the new islands of hope, the archipelago that is today the Republic of the Philippines. We pray that this measure will bring new hope to those in our barangays and those in our youth sector. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, Senator Marcos. Majority Leader.
Just a manifestation of support, Mr. President.
Senator Tolentino is recognized.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Government, one of the committees that jointly heard this important piece of legislation, this humble representation would like to manifest his humble support to the proposed bill entitled an act postponing the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections introduced by Senator Amy Marcos. This representation agrees with the rationale, the necessity, and the urgency forwarded by the good Senator Marcos, as well as the other senators who passed similar bills, who proposed similar bills, namely Senators Go, Revilla, Binay, and Gatchalian, in timely and expeditiously passing this SONA legislative measure. The barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan are vital pillars to our democracy, the barangay being the most basic political unit of our country that is in the front lines of providing essential government services to our communities, and the SK, the Sangguniang Kabataan, which help molds the young leaders for the country's future, must always be given primary importance. Thus, it only follows that these units of government must always be afforded the opportunity and time to perform their very important functions and duties. However, with the existing law, Mr. President, on barangay elections and the realities these local government units have been facing since the assumption into office, it would seem that they have been denied the chance to fully, competently, and completely serve. Kagaya po na narinig ko kanina, kulang po yung 2 taon. Kaya eleksyon lang po, mag-i-eleksyon na po muli. Republic Act 9164, as amended, provides that the current set of officers elected on the elections of May 2018 shall only serve for 2 years, as there will be another election for the same positions on May 20 next year, 2020. Therefore, the existing officials are only going to serve for 2 years. As expressed by the resource persons during the committee hearings, this is not enough. 2 years is not enough. 24 months is not enough for barangay and SK officials to conduct their trainings, perform their mandates, as well as the new directives issued by the President regarding cleanup operations. With this bill, Mr. President, there is new hope for the accomplishment of this task. The bill likewise meets the concerns of the Commission on Elections in having at least a 1-year gap or break, so to speak, between national and local elections, and the barangay and SK elections to enable this hardworking Constitutional Commission to fully prepare and ensure that democracy is exercised. After bill is passed, confusion on the schedule of barangay elections will now be cleared up, as from here on, barangay and SK elections will be held a year after every national and local election, promising consistency, institutionalization, and stability in these basic but supremely important units of government. On this note, Mr. President, this representation firmly supports the postponement of the barangay and Sangguniang elections to May 2023 and urges this august body to approve the same. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's the
Majority Leader.
sponsorship speech of Senator Tolentino. We also have to co-sponsor the measure, may we recognize Senator Bongo.
Senator Go is recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise to express my support for Senate Bill 1043 under Committee Report Number 4, postponing the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections to May 2023. I was one of the members of this chamber who supported the passage of this measure through the filing of Senate Bill 201, which I filed this July. I support the postponement of the elections to 2023 as it will give the new elected president a chance to work hand in hand with the new barangay and SK officials to synchronize and finish their projects and programs. Mr. President, hindi po kasalanan ng mga barangay officials ang postponement ng nakaraang election. 2 taon na lang po natitira sa kanila. As I have said with conviction many times before, our barangay officials are at the forefront when it comes to the delivery of the most basic and essential services to our people. Sila rin po ang nasa unahan ng ating matinding kampanya laban sa illegal na droga at kriminalidad. They are very important when it comes to addressing the most perennial problems faced by our countrymen. As a matter of fact, in recognition of their unquantifiable contributions to the welfare of our people, I have also filed Senate Bill 391, which seeks to provide a Magna Carta for barangays, and Senate Bill 392, which mandates the appointment of barangay health workers. These measures recognize the invaluable contributions and the crucial roles played by our barangay officials. That is why it is only fitting and proper that they be given sufficient and adequate time to properly implement and enact the projects and programs they have championed for the benefit of their constituents, who expect nothing less from them. Finally, Mr. President, I believe that this postponement, more than anything, is for the constituents. I urge my colleagues in this august body to support this measure, and let us give the barangay leaders chosen by the people enough time to implement all the necessary and essential programs promised to them. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Go. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe some of our colleagues would like to already start asking questions on the measure because of the urgency of the bill. Mr. President, I encourage our colleagues to already start interpolating. Mr. President, may we recognize Senator Bong Revilla to ask a few questions, if, of course, the sponsor would allow.
May the good senator from Ilocos Region.
Gladly, Mr. President.
Mr. President, for the record, may I know how many times barangay and SK elections in our country have been postponed prior to the last May 18 elections?
The barangay and SK elections since 1992 have been postponed 6 times. from 88 to May to November, tapos 88 to March 89, May 2000, July 2000, 25 to 2007, ang dalas na po 2016, 2017 to 2018. Yung SK elections naman, 7 times na because no SK elections were held during the barangay elections in October of 2013. So napakadalas na po at sana maitakda natin na regular at laging natutuloy ang ating mga term.
May I know, Mr. President, the general reasons why Congress has postponed several times our barangay and SK elections?
I think there were various reasons, but by and large, it was always too close to the national election. And I believe in the case of the SK, no IRR and other guidelines had as yet been established while awaiting the SK Reform Act of 2015.
Basically, the lady senator from Ilocos region is saying that there was a need and a necessity to postpone the elections. Is this correct?
That is correct. We feel that there is an urgent need to postpone the elections. The efforts and preparations are now ongoing for registration and for ballot supply procurement. Sayang lang po ito kapag papaltan pala natin ang date.
Mr. President, on the substituted bill, may I know for the record what were the dates considered by the committee before it recommended postponing the May 2020 to May 2023? This representation actually postponed that elections be held in October 2022.
Yes, ang totoo, paiba-iba po ng date. Nagsimula kami lahat kasama ni Senator Go na October 2022 sana. Almost immediately after the national election of May 2022. Pero nakiusap ang COMELEC na napakahirap para sa kanila at sabi natin, ano kaya kung konting postpone after Christmas, yung January or February ng 2023 at napakahaba naman ng May. Pero ang sabi nga nila, mahihirapan daw dahil yung weather, walang kwenta ang panahon. Ikalawa, yung mga bata, nasa eskwelahan pa, baka konti lang ang makapunta para bumoto, tapusin na lamang yung school year. Kaya't umabot kami sa May at sa ganon, maging pare-pareho ang mga term ng local official mula sa mayor, governor, hanggang sa mga SK.
I agree. Under existing laws, you said the term of office of our barangay and SK officials is 3 years. And if elections will be held next year, in effect, they will only serve 2 years. You mentioned that this will violate existing laws if they serve 2 years only. Will serving 5 years be in accordance with existing laws?
Yes, thank you. Indeed, we need to clarify that Section 43C of the Local Government Code very clearly stipulates that barangay officials should have a 3-year term. Ganon din ang nakasaad sa RA 9164. Sabi nga po ng ating mahal na senador na galing sa Cavite, ang pagboboto ay dapat katulad rin ng pag-ibig. Pwede magdagdag, huwag magbawas. Dahil dito po, dadagdagan na lang natin ang termino ng ating mga barangay. Imbes na makaltasan sila ng ilang taon, dagdagan na po natin. Ikalawa, what we should do is to finally establish the calendar for all succeeding barangay elections, making it clear that 1 year after the national election, a barangay election will be held. Therefore, always complying with the 3-year term rule.
Okay, thank you, Madam Senator, and I just want to put on record that I support this measure. Thank you, Madam
Thank you.
Senator.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, to allow our colleagues to study the measure further, I move to suspend consideration of the same.
Is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, We have with us a very good friend of mine and a good friend of many senators, Governor Mian Mercado of Southern Leyte is with us. Together
Welcome to the
with-
Senate.
Together with Mayor Edwin Santiago of San Fernando, Pampanga is with us as well.
Welcome, Mayor.
And I also have with us Board Member Roswe Henson of San Fernando, Pampanga, and several Kapitans from Calamba. I have their names earlier. I just mentioned as Kapitans, but we have with us Kapitan Melchor Malaborbor, Kapitan Gordon Toledo, Kapitan Eduardo Silva, and Kapitan Henry Crisostomo. I'm sure very elated to hear about the postponement plans of Senator Marcos.
Welcome to all our workers in government. Welcome to the Senate.
Mr. President, I ask for 1 minute Senate suspension.
Session is suspended.
On the roll yan si Sunny. Uy, merong ano, may F1 sa Singapore. Nanonood kayo? Mag-F1? May F1 eh. Ano yan, October? Mix ano yan, October ano yan? When's that? Mix? October. Kailan yan? Yan. Ano ba? May iwan ako. Vienna and what? Are you going to Vienna and what? Sabihin mo kay Pilipino to coordinate with that because siya ang gumagawa ng schedule. Sure. Vienna. Ang iniisip namin mag-train. Kasi ayoko mag-try. Minsan yung mga madadala. Sabihin mo kay Vlad, Vienna, kung Vienna mag-practice. Ay, hindi, mag-play na kami. Ilang araw na sa Vienna? Matagal yun. Kami baka mga 2 nights ko. Kasi gusto ko magtagal sa pamilya. Hindi. Supposed to be. Well, it's only 2 hours. 2-3 hours. 2.5. It's not even 3 hours. It's 3 hours. Dinidistract ko na si Nancy ko at di makinig sa inyo. Naririnig ko na nga eh. Sis naman. No, Hilton muna tayo. Sige na, sabihin sa staff ko ah. Kasi Hilton tayo sa Sergia Hilton.
Wala na. Tapos na ba tayo?
They have changed. I agree with
Session resumed.
Mr. President, I move that we adjourn session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Wednesday, September 18, 2019. So moved, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, the session is adjourned until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Wednesday, September 18, 2019.